Sa kasalukuyang rules ng Senado, nakalagay doon, if you may want to read it. The Senate President, it does not make mention of an impeachment court. Kasalukuyang rules yan, ha? The Senate President shall take proper order of the subject matter of impeachment. So, maaring bahagi yon ng trabaho ng Senate President depende nga sa itatalaga ng rules. Hindi sa kinlarify ng rules. Isa yon sa mga bala ko i-clarify sa rules kung tatanggapin ng mayoriya ng Senado. Kung hindi tatanggapin ng mayoriya ng Senado yon, depende sa ilalaman ng rules na aprubahan ng Senado. Kung ipoprohibit yon specifically. Kung sabihin halimbawa ng rules, gusto ng nakararami ngayong 19th Congress, kailangan sumampa na tayo, mag-impeachment court na tayo bago magawa lahat yan. Susundin namin ang gusto ng nakararami. Ang sinasabi ko ay, pwedeng hindi kailangan gawin yon nang nai-issue yung summons. Hindi kukunin ng Senado yan. Ulitin ko, an impeachment court, like any court, is a passive body. Wala kaming gagawin. Hindi to parang investigasyon ng Senado na mag-iiso kami ng sabpina para sa mga ebidensya o testigo na magpunta. Trabaho yan ng magkabilang panig ng prosecution at ng defense. Kung sakasakali na hilingin yan sa korte o sa NBI, at trabaho din nilang ipresenta yan. Nasa kabilang panig ang tutulan yan at sa parte ng Senado, nasa trabaho naman namin, ay magdesisyon o magpasya kaugnay sa mga kahilingan tulad yan. But it can be done. It is possible. Tama, tapos na agad. Likan na, kain na tayo. Ay. No, they can present the same witnesses. They can present the same pieces of object or documentary evidence. That is totally up to them. Karapatan naman ng kabilang panig kung sakasakali, kung may basis sila, natutulan niya ang presentasyon niyan. Sino naman ang nagsabi? Sino ba nibago na naman? Mahirap naman mag-comment ng walang name. Dapat may name. Teorya niya yon, pero sa tingin ko nga, meron ng jurisdiction ang Senado dyan sa kasong yan dahil tinanggap na namin eh. Mag-convene man o hindi yung korte to receive evidence, mag-i-issue na ng mga jurisdictional orders ang impeachment court na ito. Kaugnay ng pagpapasagot, na pag-usapan na natin yan, pagpapasagot sa nasasakdal at paghingi ng tugon doon ng prosecution naman. So, technical na term yung ginagamit marahil ni Justice Ascunan, yung pag-convene. Kasi physical convening ba yon o na nagkaroon na ng jurisdiction ng impeachment court? Ulitin ko, may jurisdiction na sa aking pananaw ang Senado sa subject matter of impeachment. Wala pa kaming jurisdiction sa katauhan ng nasasakdal ni Vice President Sara hanggat siya hindi pa sumasagot at na-arraign. Pero subukan ko so anong gusto nga niyang gawin namin? Sundan natin sa logical conclusion yung mga nagsasabi niyan. So mag-convene kami pero wala muna kaming gagawin. So anong gagawin namin pag-convene namin?
Pero sir, pwede na ba kayo?
Hindi, anong gagawin muna namin? Wala, di ba? Pero yung pre-trial nga pwedeng magawa na hindi nagko-convene dahil maghihintay ka lang namang sumagot eh.
Pero sir, pwede the Vice President for her answer and yung mga regional...
Yes, but these are all pre-trial matters.
Yes sir, pero without convening as impeachment court, kahit hindi pa kayo nag-pass impeachment.
When you say without convening as an impeachment court, by analogy, let's use the current courts. Nando na kasi yung korte. So mag-i-issue siya ng mga order, yung judge, bago pa mag-trial. Hindi pa naman technically trial yung pag-issue ng summons eh. Hindi pa siya trial, ah. So, when you say trial shall forthwith, trial means reception of evidence.
Pero sir,
Wala pa tayong reception of evidence.
kung hihingi siya ng answer, without being nasa impeachment court, anong entity yun?
Depende nga sa rules ng Senado. Kasi
Kung wala si Inday Sara, yan ang totoo. Kung wala si Inday Sarang sumabay sa pinsan mo, walang Marcos na presidente ngayon. At walang Romualdez na tambalustos na maging speaker ngayon. Yun lang ang isipin mo. Ang administration na to, malaki ang utang na loob sa mga Duterte. If you remember, sinabi naman talaga noon ni Tatay Digong na he is a very weak leader. Pero, dahil si Senator Amy linigawan ng todo ang ating pinakamamahal na Vice President Inday Sara, gumit-in, tinalikuran ni Inday Sara ang kanyang ama. At sinunod na mag-Vice President siya. Mr. Speaker, nakita kita ang laki ng ano mo, katawan mo, tumatayo ka, sabi mo, ako'y maninindigan para sa bayan. Paano ka nanindigan nung panahon ng ibang administrasyon na hindi inililibing ang tiyuhin mo at ama ng ating Pangulo? Nanindigan ka ba? Di ba para kang pugsit doon sa tabi? Na hindi kayo makapagsalita? Ngayon nagkapoder ka? Ang yabang mo na maninindigan ka sa demokrasya. Anong demokrasya ang binibigay mo sa amin? Martial law itong binibigay nyo sa amin. Tinago ni Pangulong Duterte sa mata ng sambayanang Pilipino ang pagpalibing sabi nyo? Hindi, sa libingan ng mga bayani dahil tatlong dekada, tatlong presidente na ang umupo, hindi napapalibing. Pero matigas din at matikas ang aming pinakamamahal na Presidente Rodrigo Duterte na itinago niya sa sambayan ng Pilipino para lang maipalibing ang tiyuhin mo. Napakawalang hiya mo. Ikaw ang pinakawalang hiyang naging Speaker of the House.
Malu, para lang sa kaalaman ng marami, ang objective o layunin kasi nitong committee hearing na ito ay magpasa ng mga batas, no? Gaya ng nabanggit mo sa ibang bansa na kung saan ay merong mga batas, no, to protect, no, yung the people from online scams and others, no, and other illegal activities that is being done in the cyberspace. Dito sa atin sa ngayon, Malu, no? Marami kasing mga vloggers, habang tayo'y naghihiring ngayon, ang komentaryo ay sinasabi nila na we do not respect that committee hearing kasi yung hearing na yan suppression ng aming freedom of speech or freedom of expression. Hindi kami naniniwala na ang layunin niyan ay para gumawa ng batas. Since you are here, I'd like to get a categorical opinion from you. Na ikaw ba ay naniniwala na tama lang na tayo gumawa ng batas para magkaroon ng disiplina, magkaroon ng regulatory framework ang ating bansa sa paggamit ng social media?
Sir, to directly respond to Congressman Barbers, yes.
Okay.
For the simple reason that the decency of the space has been crossed so much. So yes.
There are statements that are being issued that are slanderous or libelous, correct? And you agree with me? No?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so marami kasing ganyan Maaring hindi nila aaminin o hindi sila informed, no, kung ano na yung kanilang limitasyon sa paggamit ng social media. Kasi yun na nga ang sinabi ko kanina, no, when you open your social media account, sometimes makikita mo may nagmumura. Di ba? May nagmumura. May name calling. They resort to name calling. They call politicians, they call people by other names. Na insulto nga minsan di ba? Meron naman dyan nananawagan ng kaguluhan sa bansa. And these are the things that we want to check. Yan po, kaya yung mga nanonood doon ng mga vloggers na walang ginawa, kundi magmura, they've crossed the line of decency doon papunta sa criminal act of being libelous or slanderous. So, yun ang gusto nating linawin. And I'm glad that Professor Maluti-Kia is here to agree with this committee's objective in coming up with this legislation, remedial laws or legislation that can be used by the country, and of course people will benefit. Tama?
Sir, ako lang, kasi ang legislators, you live in a glass house. So part and parcel of your public life are attacks being made.
And that's normal.
That's normal. But there is also such a thing as contrarian view. Kasi kung papatulan yung opinion yun eh. Ngayon, kung factual, kaya I brought
I'm only referring to fake news peddling.
Yeah.
Yung opinion, they can share, they can express their opinion 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days in a year. And no one will stop them from doing that. That's their right.
Yes.
And we know that and we respect that right.
Thank you for that.
Diba? Pero kapag you've crossed the line, created a story, created a news that is fake, and you peddled it, diba? Teka muna, may pananagutan tayo sa batas. And you know that, diba?
Yes, sir.
So, it's very clear. We will not debate and argue about opinions.
Yes.
Because your opinion
Yes.
is I respect, and my opinion you should also respect.
Yes.
Diba? Ganun din po, this goes the same to all social media actors or bloggers, so to speak, no? Kasi siyempre, kayo nandyan sa industry niyan, you control the narrative eh. Kasi kayo nandyan dyan, trabaho nyo siguro yan. Perhaps you even make money out of that, no? Especially to those who actually can monetize, no? Yung kanilang, ano ba, namo-monetize
Yes,
yan?
sir.
Oo.
That's why I said I am not a blogger or a vlogger because I do not earn from it. My meta page is my personal page. And to a certain degree, you really have to be responsible for what you say or what you do. Yun lang, sir, siguro sa legislation, really you have to look for a definition on fake news. What is fake news is really something that has to be
I
defined.
absolutely agree with you, and that is why we're consulting and getting opinions from the experts, no? Yung ating members of the academe, like you're a practitioner, and the government agencies para makagawa po tayo ng batas. Yun lamang po ang ating layunin. So yung mga nagtatago sa likod ng usapin na ito ay curtailment ng freedom of expression o freedom of speech, sila po yung talagang namamayagpag sa pagkalat ng fake news dito sa ating bansa.
Mr. Chairman, the fact that I agreed to appear and honor your invitation, and I was given the chance to say what I want to say. I don't think that is curtailment of my right to expression.
And you're a perfect example and manifestation that indeed there was no curtailment of freedom of expression and speech in this committee hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're familiar with the video na pinapakalat, no? Yung fake video where apparently our president is using drugs, no? So, ikaw, Miss Maluti-Kia, what do you, what can you say about that video?
Sir, I did not share the video.
No, but I'm just asking your opinion. Ano ba? Is that kasi marami nang nagsasabi na these are manipulated, these are AI generated, these are deepfakes. And you agree with that, with those findings, correct?
I held judgment for the simple reason that I haven't seen any documentation on the claim.
So you haven't seen the video?
I've seen the video,
And
but I chose not to share it for the simple reason that I haven't seen any authentication.
so you have reservations?
Yes.
And I'm glad that you don't share something that you do not verify or validate. Sana ganyan po lahat ng vloggers, di ba? Kasi it seems that it's not the norm, no, of the vloggers. Eh. If they see a post and then somebody else will tell them to share this post, they will start sharing it.
I agree, sir, but you also need to contextualize that there are bloggers who are there to earn So not necessarily having the experience. So I have been in politics for, as I said, 30 years. So I know,
Yeah, I've known you since the early 90s.
diba? So I know which one is hala and which one is shareable. So
Yeah, well, you know, that's why I said I'm glad that you're that kind of a social media user, no?
sir, it's very hard because when you see everyone sharing, and then your followers are asking, why are you not sharing it? So there are times I've learned, since I've been bashed so many times, I've learned not to react. Early on, at the start of Facebook, I was reacting left and right.
Well, I'm happy to hear that because isa kang matalinong vlogger. Hindi kagaya ng ibang mga vlogger na walang ginawa yun kundi mag-share, magmura, manira, at kung ano-ano pang iniimbento, di ba? Yes, Mr. Mark, what can you say about that video naman?
Gusto ko lang din pong idagdag marami po tayong kababayan at kahit yung mga vloggers, hindi naman po sila tanga na hindi nila ma-distinguish ano yung fake news sa hindi. Ang problema po, kahit na merong pagdududa sa kanila kung totoo o hindi, if the video serves their narrative, if the post serves nung naratibo nila, if it supports the candidate na gusto nila, they will still share it. Nasa ganun na po tayong stage Kahit
But are you telling us that itong mga ganitong klaseng vloggers do not know the limitations of the freedom of expression or freedom of speech?
the thing is kasi po, there are gray areas Merong mga videos na pwedeng 70% true, 30% not true. So kahit maliit lang yung porsyento na chance na magkatotoo, sineshare pa rin. Tapos pwedeng patanong, totoo kaya ito? Share, ganun. So meron pong mga ways to circumvent just to push their narrative dahil ang gusto nila is masira si Pangulo.
So they share a post even if they've not validated it or verified it,
Yes.
as long as it suits their narrative. O kaya inutos sa kanila, ginagawa nila.
Opo,
No?
kahit po yung mga ordinaryong Pilipino, ganun din.
Okay, sige po. Salamat.